coming off a big win, I'm sure that the film study was good to watch over. Anything that stood out, perhaps, how the team played in general?
I think we achieved our objectives. I mean, obviously, getting the 3 points was number one objective, but there were certain tactics within the game that I showed them that they did well. Again, going back to just we want to be aggressive at home, and sometimes our defending, how we defend, where we defend, when we defend, those were some of the things I highlighted. And then obviously we ended the film session with highlights of 4 goals, 4 pretty good goals. So yes, you're right. It was a pretty easy film session for coaches and players.
How fulfilling is it as a coach that, without your top scorer and obviously key pieces, you're not only able to win, but there's so many scoring options. Goals come from so many different places.
Well, it just shows that the tactics, the formation that we worked on in preseason is working. Remember, I asked you guys, or I told you guys about a month ago maybe, that teams had started to figure us out, right? And so adding Will that one game in Sporting KC next to Raul, some different looks, just small little adjustments in how we play. Some of those are paying off, and that's what we need.
Any word on when Nuhu might be getting back? I think
Nuhu's meeting us in Houston.
meeting in
Yep, he'll be available to play. 2 good games for the kid. Very happy about that.
You had mentioned 2006 at the post game, and you made it sound like you had a story about why you failed to qualify for the playoffs in 2006.
Well, because it was 1 goal that we gave up late in the game on a throw-in that went over one of my defenders' heads, and they somehow picked it up and they scored late in the game, and we ended up drawing instead of winning 1-0. It was 1-1 and knocked us out of the playoffs by like a point. It's one specific game. Now, look, being fair, it wasn't that season. It wasn't just down to one play, but it's what sticks in my mind.
And so that sounds like it obviously stuck with you, though, that sort of...
I do not like losing. Just don't.
Coach, have you talked, or do you have any official word on Raul Ruidíaz's re-aggravating injury?
Yeah. He's getting treatment right now in Peru with their national team, and he'll be back joining us. I mean, we're going to Houston, so he'll rejoin us after a couple of road games, and, we'll get him back here. We'll get him back up on the horse. It is what it is. I know that Chris Cornish, our trainer, has been in close contact with the Peruvian doctors. We know what's going on. It's a slight aggravation. It's not going to keep him out for a lengthy bit of time. So he'll be back.
On a similar note is Arriaga, is he just not been playing for a coach's decision, or did he suffer an injury, or what's his situation?
Well, I got it on good information that it was just a coach's decision, that there was no injuries or anything like that. So we'll see. But that's actually not the worst thing in the world if Javi doesn't play extended minutes, because that means he can. We're short a guy with Yaimar and the yellows, so that'll be okay for me in some ways. But yeah, coach's decision from what I hear.
Is the expectation then that he'll also meet you in Houston?
Yes, he is definitely me. Whether he was playing or not, he was going to meet. They're all going to. Alex, Christian, they're all meeting us in Houston.
Okay. Speaking of the yellow, the helmet was fine for simulation. Obviously, that doesn't do much for Yaimar missing the game. Do you have any thoughts on whether that should be an avenue to be able to have yellow suspended in the future if a player is
found guilty of simulation? I would think that common sense would say, Mickey, that should be a conversation. But again, look, I leave it up to the league and the referees. Refereeing's hard. The fans are all over you, the players, sometimes the coaches are all over. It's not being a ref's not an easy job. They're human, they make mistakes as well. So it's certainly worth a conversation, I would think.
We asked you about Nico Benezet's play after the game, and you joked about his social media presence being very good and all that, but has his play been
Good.
travel been a little
Yeah.
bit surprising?
Well, a little bit surprising in the sense that when did we really see him? We saw him Toronto in the final. We didn't play East Coast teams a lot. He wasn't getting much time in Colorado. I can't remember if we played against him in Colorado or not. I'm not sure. So there you go. I don't remember him. But when he came here, he's been very good, Jeremiah. I mean, he's a smart I like him because he's a smart soccer player. He knows where to play, the little pockets of space. He's good technically. He's clean. Goal scoring from that position is very key for us. So he's been good.
Especially with Nicolas Benezet's absence, has it been particularly useful to have a player with that skill set?
Sure. I think Montero's helped because there's goals from that position. Christian has scored goals from where Nicolas Benezet is playing now. So yes, it's very handy to have a couple of extra goal scorers, so it takes the pressure off Raul and Will a little bit.
Did you have any thoughts on the 1-0 loss for the U.S. and Panama?
It's hard to qualify. Was it their best game? No. They know it. I'm sure Greg is going to make adjustments. I'm sure the players have enough personal pride. We are the United States of America. We're a proud country, proud nation. I'm sure that they're going to get it together. Those things are going to happen. It's pro sports. Would we have liked the Kraken to win last night? They came back, made it exciting. You know, it was 3-3, and I was all excited. I was like, oh my God, they're going to... But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So, yeah, it's sports. Credit to Panama. Give credit to your opponent sometimes. But it's hard. Some of those games are very hard.
Any thoughts on allowing that kicking goal to stand for the night?
Well, I don't know the rules. I mean, he did kind of move his skate. I mean, I don't know the rules, Jeremiah. I'm way out over my skis on this one.
Go. That's Vince's job.
But no, I mean, obviously it counted because the referees in the replay said it was a goal. So, you know, I have to accept that.
Jordan Moore's been gone. Is he expected back tomorrow, or what's his status?
You guys are all watching for Jordan. He's at his doctor's to get final clearance to come back in absolute full training. So that's where he's at today. He will meet us in Houston.
And so for Jordan, looking at his timeline, is there like can he immediately be eligible for selection as soon as he's?
We will hear from the doctors what they say, but I know what our medical staff is saying, that he has to complete X amount of absolutely full, not just this neutral player in games. He has to complete X amount of training, and then he'll be eligible for selection. But the first step in that is to get his doctor's clearance that he can get into absolutely full training, and then we'll ramp him up very quickly because he's already done a lot of the hard work already. So I think that it's not going to be a massive amount of time. And then when they tell me, we will get him back out there.
And just for clarity purposes, it sounds like he won't be eligible for selection against Houston.
For clarity, that's probably going to be my decision that it's probably a little early. I need him to get through a couple training sessions. But he's going to meet us down there, and he's a tough kid. And if the doctors, who knows?
Any other questions? Playoff spot, the team has talked about wanting to win first in the West as the next goal. Obviously, there are no fans in the stadium last year during the playoffs. What does it mean to you to have a home game with a bunch of fans on?
Well, we're going to have home games in the stadium this year, so it'll be great. I appreciate all the fans coming out. The atmosphere against Vancouver was great. You know, they got rewarded with Leo's goal late. Thought that was a great way to end the game. Exciting for the kid, exciting for the fans. I mean, it was a great story. So yes, that's the reward for all the fans coming out on a rainy October day. But that's what our fans love.